Hey, so despite jet lag, which is a real thing, I made it over to my LCS yesterday, picked up my pulse. Hey, this is James for Read More Comics. I have been struggling with jet lag since I got back last week. It has been a bear, but I had to go out yesterday, run some errands, and go to the post office. So I made an opportunity to stop by my LCS. I only have a few weeks left in summer vacation before school starts back up, and I really enjoy the vibe of my LCS in the morning. So I went over to beautiful Mishawaka. Was a little early, so I stopped by Half Price Books, which was just around the corner. Picked up a couple things there. I'll show those in a moment. And then got my pulls. And surprisingly, considering it is the fifth Wednesday of the month, I had a lot of books. And these were all pre-orders. These weren't impulse purchases, though I was looking to buy comics. So Half Price Books first. I picked up two things. When I go there, I like hitting their discount DVD because I'm into physical media. I have a Kodi server at home, and one movie I realized I didn't have, got it for $2. We have Hellboy, the Golden Army. I really liked Guillermo del Toro's take on Hellboy. He was my introduction to the character. I haven't read a lot by Mike Mignola, but I enjoy the character, and I thought the kind of Cthulhu-esque qualities in this movie was pretty good. So I picked that up. I've actually ripped it already, and I'll be adding it to my media server later today. And then, as I was flipping through the comics, and if you've watched any of my videos, I sold a bunch of comics to Half Price Books just a few weeks ago. I'll put a link right up there to the video where I talked about that. So, I sold a bunch of comics, right? And it was interesting flipping through their back issues, seeing books I had parted with in there, and realizing that made it a lot easier to go through it because I could just go through, and I use blue tape on my bags. So I'd go through and go, this book's looking familiar to me. Oh, there's the blue tape. This was my book, So that made an easier trip. Well, as I was flipping through, there was a book that attracted my attention for a moment, and all their back issues are $2. So I picked it up because I was like, why not? So this is a Whitman book. This is a reprint. This is Star Trek, a Dynabrite comic. Okay. Now, why is James putting this? This is a magazine holder. So this came out, and I did some research on this because I saw this and I'm like, this is really interesting to me. One, because clearly it is a vintage book. This came out in 1978 or 79, one of the two. Dynabrite was an imprint of Whitman that ran from 78 to 79. So I went, okay, so this is in the Bronze Age. And what they did is they took older books that was either Gold Key or Whitman, and they bundled them and reprinted them. And so there are two comics in this. It is larger than a Silver Age book, which I found interesting. When I got it in the bag and board that it was with, the bag, do I still have it? I feel like I do. It's over here in my refuse pile. Today's trash day. So anyway, the bag, it clearly was in the bag, and I think it might have been a Golden Age bag, but the board left like a quarter to a half inch on each side. I guess it was about a quarter inch. So the book hung over each side, which kind of begged the point. What's the purpose for this? You probably can't see it, but down here in the corner, because it is a larger book, something was laying on top of it and left an indentation right here. So I picked this up. It is cardstock. This is George Wilson who painted the cover. I don't remember the writer. It's an Italian artist who did the interiors. These are two stories from the 1960s. There are only two Star Trek books that came out in this Dynamite imprint. And I went, I think I might pick those up because it's this interesting history niche. That this moment in comic book history where you're kind of like, so what was Whitman doing with this? Who was their audience? Because it's a more expensive book. So is their audience older readers? But most of the Dynamite line, and I looked it up, they're like kid stories. So I don't know who their market was. There isn't publicly available publication numbers for this. The original comics probably were 1 to 300,000. That's an estimate based on what I could find online. So this one might have been 10 or 20,000. It's not a particularly valuable in itself comic. It's not a key. It's just this interesting comic book history footnote. So I picked this up. And then I went to my LCS. I brought some Japanese graphic novels that I picked up last week, kind of a show and tell, and we kind of oohed and awed over them. I'm going to be posting a video this weekend sharing my experience in both pre-trip while I'm there and also like kind of post-trip, unpacking these figuratively and literally. And then I got my polls, okay, and it's a pretty healthy stack. I think there's 9 books, which I didn't expect considering it was a fifth Wednesday. So why don't we dive into this? First, we have Bishop number 2. I went the variant cover. This is by K.O. So check that out. And I just like the psychedelic look of this cover. Issue 1 rehashed some of Bishop's background, which I recognize now is an important kind of entry point for the character, especially for those who haven't read like his other work, like in Uncanny X-Men or the Volume 1 miniseries. At the end of it, there was a cliffhanger. There's some people showing up that know Bishop. They're trying to take him out, and then spoiler, not spoiler, his sister shows up, which his sister Shard is dead, but she's like Shard from the future, but a future where she's still alive. Not sure what's going on with that yet. So that's where this is taking up. I am very hopeful that this builds some momentum. I think Bishop is a really cool character. This goes back to X-Men, the original X-Men, X-Men 92 show. He was just a bad mother. So I am hopeful that this pulls together. And like in the first one, there was a lot of depressing Bishop. I'm hoping we can kind of step beyond that because he was depressed about things that the character has been mulling over for decades. To be fair, though, Bruce Wayne, he's been doing it for 80 years, right? So, anyway, next book, we have Conan the Barbarian, issue number 33, with a gorgeous cover by Roberto de la Torre. Check that out. This is an awesome comic. So if you want to get into Conan, Jim Zub's run. And I think his contract, I saw something on social media, his contract is supposed to be expiring, but they're renegotiating something, and I think it would be, I'm playing armchair publisher. It would be a mistake on Titan's part to not renew the contract. I know he's doing some other things. He's doing Invader Zim, and like creative types, he wants to do other things, and I get that. But he needs to be manning the helm on Conan the Barbarian. even if he's like the creative publisher or something like that. This is an awesome title. We have a Ryan North book. This is Doomquest issue number 3. This is the A cover by Alex Ross. This is the intersection. Do you remember the Quantum Leap TV show? What is it? Bakula. Scott Bakula. Okay. That was like the late 90s? In the 90s. And I know they did a remake of it. Anyway, this is like the cross between Quantum Leap and Doom trying to take over the world. It is just fun. And like Ryan North could continue this series forever and it be canon and it would just be a wild ride. We have Feral 25 by Image Comics. This, I think, is the finale of the Feral Stray Dogs crossover, which has been going on in last couple of issues, and it's like drawing in the characters from Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs came out right around the time of the pandemic. It was about it was a serial killer, a psychopath who would kill people and then take their dogs, right? And it was really kind of cute in a Bloom-esque, or Bluth, Don Bluth-esque way, but still kind of twisted. Feral, zombie apocalypse, there's an intersection there. It's been good. They've been doing these flip books where like half the story is from the cats and then you flip it over and it's from the dogs. Last issue, they finally met each other, so I think we're done with that. We have Monstress, issue number 63 by Marjorie Lewis and Takeda. I've been trying to work on kind of a video review for this entire series, and it is so horridly complex. Amazing world building and art. I'm going to have to really lean into that because I think more people should read Monstress. It is an awesome book. We have Reborn Ultimate Impact issue number 3. This is the variant cover. I don't know who's doing this cover. I just got it because it has Miles Morales right there. This has kind of been a fun little Miles Morales-centric book. And it's clearly like aftershocks of the Ultimate Universe. If you've read the Ultimate Incursion, which was a little Miles Morales short story. And this should be wrapping up in a couple months. I'm not sure if it'll mean anything in the Marvel Universe because right now there's so many things going on. You got this going on, Queen in Black, the Avengers Armageddon, which is a really good event. But it's just kind of a fun side because I like Miles Morales and I like it when they tell good stories. And this one's been good so far. This is Superman Annual number 1. This is 2026. I really wish they would number their annuals. I don't know why Marvel and DC don't do that anymore like they used to. Like it's like in this volume, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 2026 annual. I got this. This is the Mario Facilo cover. It's just gorgeous. This is supposed to be a kind of wrap-up of DC K.O. Over the past couple months in the different Superman titles. They have been dealing with the absence of Superman because he disappeared at the end of DC K.O. and this is supposed to kind of pull that together in some way. The reviews I read for this said it was a phenomenal book. And while I'm not willing to like go all in on Superman, there are some books I'm willing to kind of like, okay, I'll pick this one up because this is a good story. We have Thundarr the Barbarian issue number 6 by Jason Aaron. I don't know if he's going to continue writing this, and I don't know if Dynamite's going to do seasons like they do with Space Ghost or with Blue Falcon. Okay, like this is season 1 of Thundarr the Barbarian. I think that might be a good thing. That would allow them to bring in another creative team. Jason Aaron's doing something else on a couple other books, I know. So this has been a good ride, though. And I think it's been true to the Thundarr the Barbarian cartoon. Like if you watch that cartoon and then you started reading this, it's like it's a continuation. And then DC will do these seasonal anthology books. This is DC Hawkgirl Summer #1. This is the variant cover. So I love these annual books because it's like a story buffet. You know, I can read the stories I want to with the characters that I enjoy, and the ones I don't, I can skip. I know DC also used this to kind of test out some different creative teams. You don't often, sometimes you see like A-list writers and artists, and sometimes it's someone new. And so it's kind of interesting to see people you don't normally get to see, and some artistic style that might be a little fresh. So I enjoy these. So those are my polls for the week. Please do leave a comment down below. What do you think about my 5th Wednesday haul? Have you seen Hellboy 2? What do you feel about physical media? Thank you for listening to me ramble on about comic books and collecting. Please do like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell up in the corner so you get notifications anytime I post new content. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, life is so much better when we read more comics.